One day I was walking down the corridor of the synagogue and overheard a conversation between two siblings. And the conversation, or the part of the conversation I heard was this. I also thought that Judaism was boring and pointless. But now I like it. It's good to be Jewish. Just to say that this person was Angel, and she was speaking to a Valentine. And I thought it was very moving. So what does it mean to be Jewish? And why would be Jewish be good or not good? I didn't choose to be Jewish. I was born like this. So it's not good or not. It is just what it is. Nevertheless, people speak about Jewish people, about Jews. So the logical question is, especially considering the forthcoming Mother's Day, do we need a Jew Day? So why do we need a Mother's Day? Isn't it that all days should be Mother's Days, really? So, but yet, we made up this day, by the way, in the way how it's reflected in our culture, it is deeply rooted in Christian theology, but many people, I think, approach it as a way to say thank you to our mothers. So, should there be a Jewish Day? And if there were a Jew Day, the day when we celebrate Judaism or something Jewish, what would it be? What are we good at? Well, the most stereotypical answer would, of course, be two things. Food, which we will experience after the service, and the mastery of the art of complaining. What's the first thing Jewish mother says when her child calls her unexpectedly? What's wrong? Not, hi darling, I'm so happy to hear your voice. Not, how are you? But what's wrong? We often assume the worst possible outcome. Perhaps we do so because at least this way we can be happy that this worst possible outcome didn't happen. What would be a Jew Day about? And in a way, a Jew Days exist in our calendar, but for some reason, all of them relate to anti-Semitism. What do people read or hear about us, Jewish people? Nowadays, it's mostly about the rise of anti-Semitism, sometimes Holocaust-related articles, and the Jewish people complaining that they feel threatened. So this probably means that for an average UK citizen who is not Jewish and who doesn't know about Judaism much, being Jewish is associated with being someone persecuted, threatened, oppressed. Who would want to be a part of it? In a way, the attitude towards Jewish people sometimes might feel like an attitude towards a rare species that's under a threat of being extinct. Not a positive message again. Suffering and oppressed, wandering Jew, whom we people have responsibility to nurture and save. So others see Jewish people as some kind of an indicator of a tolerant society. If a country is good to Jewish people, you cannot accuse us of hate. But what about others? What about other people who have hate directed at them? We, Jewish people, often internalize this approach. When you ask an average Jewish person to list the most important moments in our history, what do you think they would list? In my experience, they would say, well, that would be the destruction of the first and second temples, the expulsion of Jewish people from England in the 13th century and from Spain in the 15th century, and the wave of anti-Semitic pogroms in Eastern Europe at the end of the 19th century, and so on and so forth. This list can continue and be very long. These moments are the bitter truth about us. It is true. But what about good moments? So often we forget that we also had the beauty and wisdom of our ancient Jewish texts and our traditions' encouragement to learn throughout life, never stop. These texts represent thousands of years of distilled wisdom. The golden age of Spanish Jewish community with its beautiful poetry and deep and genius philosophy, and disproportionate achievements of Jewish people in literature, art, economics, and science. And yet, despite all the good moments, we, the Jewish people, keep focusing mainly on bad things. There is a Jewish joke that illustrates it very well. And I've heard it first from Deborah Lipstadt, filmed at Limud conference in 2014. And she told a story of a Jew who was on a train compartment. And he sat there repeating, "Oi, am I thirsty? Oi, am I thirsty?" over and over again. And there was another Jew in the compartment who couldn't stand it anymore and went and got the guy some water. He drank it and, of course, felt much better. And everything was quiet for a while, and the train continued on its way. Well, it's a Jewish joke, so it has two endings. So you can choose which one you like better. So one ending is purely pessimistic, and the other one is optimistically pessimistic. So the purely pessimistic ending goes this way: that after a few moments, the same man who was thirsty starts again and says, "Oi, will I be thirsty again? Oi, will I be thirsty again soon?" And in the optimistically pessimistic ending, he starts to say, "Oi, was I thirsty? Oi, was I thirsty?" and repeats it over and over again. So Deborah Lipstadt is an American historian and diplomat, best known for her books and also legal battle against David Irving regarding Holocaust denial, which she won, by the way. In 2023, the Time magazine named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world. So back then in 2014, she gave a talk at Limud, at the conference, at the Festival of Jewish Learning, titled "The Oys and Joys of Being Jewish in the 21st Century." And she talked about this dichotomy, it's about this spectrum, and we often go from one extreme to another. We either say, "Oi, something bad happened to us," or "Joy, something so good happened to us," and we don't often have anything in between. So we are very binary from that perspective. So at the Jewish wedding, she asked, "What's the most memorable moment for most people?" And she said, "Of course, breaking of the glass. This is what many people consider the significance and the symbol of the Jewish wedding. It represents the memory of the misfortunes and destructions of our past." But yet, what do we do when the glass is broken? We say, "Mazel tov," and we start dancing. So we go from oi to joy immediately. So the oys and joys in Jewish history coexist together. We cannot ignore either of them. It's not about denying bad moments and sad reality. It's about acknowledging that despite everything bad, there is still a lot of positive and good things in the world. And we need both, to remember tragedies and not forget to enjoy life. So what do we win as a Jewish people today when we only talk about anti-Semitism and forget about everything else and everyone else. I think overall the Jewish community in the UK became bitter, arrogant, self-centered. We forgot about other people, focusing purely on the oys of today and forgetting about the joys of living in this society. I'm not denying anti-Semitism. Its rise is shocking, very sad, and it needs to be taken seriously, but there are enough anti-Semitism alarms being sounded today, enough warnings drawing attention to the anti-Jewish hatred of this world. In this week's Torah portion, Jewish people built the most beautiful place of gathering, Mishkan, this mobile temple that Jewish people took with themselves, using the most extravagant, intricate, and gorgeous materials that there were in the world at that time. The best craftsmanship went into this work, and later, rabbis interpreted this story and said that it was so beautiful and good that people from all over the world wanted to come and look at it and be a part of us. So what are we offering to the world today as Jewish people? I think the most important question for every person should not be whether the world is good to me, but whether I am good to this world. The same must apply to us. We should stop defining ourselves by what we are not and begin to offer positive definition of what being Jewish means today. What do we stand for? We stand for charity, being kind to each other, supporting one another. And when we give charity, we don't just think of our pride, but also about the dignity of the recipient. What do we offer to this society and the world? A unique perspective of a people that's thousands and thousands of years old. These questions must continue and must offer a positive message. Who are the people from the British community who are our friends? Who do we support and become allies for? Is it enough to fight against anti-Semitism but not fight against Islamophobia? No, we are not safe until all are safe. We need more people who choose to see Judaism from a positive perspective, who choose life and joys of our lives. We need more people like you, Angel, who fully embrace Judaism and even say to their younger siblings that now I like it. It's good to be Jewish. To finish, I would like to quote Rabbi Ben Zoma, one of the early rabbinic voices in the Mishnah, from roughly 2,000 years ago. He said, "Who is wise? The one who learns from every human being. Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, every human being. Who is mighty? The one who subdues and overcomes their own inclination. Not the one who is looking for an enemy outside, but the one who tries every day to become a better person. Who is rich? The one who is happy with what they have. There is no number to it. The one who is happy with what they have. Who is honored? The one who honors all creatures, all creations." This is my Judaism, positive, open-minded, caring about this world and all people, respecting others, trying to be better and make this world better. This is what it means to be Jewish to me. And this is who we are. And this is why today, thousands of years later, we still exist. And I do think that these ideas are best expressed in this book, which is Mahzor Ruach Hadasha, which encourages us to become better It is the prayer book that we use on high holidays, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I would like to present you, Angel, with the copy with a special inscription saying that this is a special gift from this community to you on the occasion of your bat mitzvah.